Welcome to Think You Popular. Appreciate you guys joining in. We're here today on another podcast, and today we're going to be talking about the Museum of American Family History and Learning Center, which is in Tijeras, New Mexico. It's to honor veterans and their families. And I've never been there. Right now, it's closed. It's winter time because of the snow and everything, but it will be opening up in the spring for visits. I think it's by appointment. I'm not sure if it's open to the public all day, but for right now, I think it's by appointment when they start. But right now, Ernest is gonna fill us in on this. He has a lot of information. He used to sit on the board of the museum, so he knows a whole lot about this directly and personally. So without any further ado, Ernest, the floor is yours, sir.
Okay. I want to talk today about the Museum of the American Military Family History and Learning Center. The vision of the museum, and I'm going to read it off to you. The Museum of the American Military Family and Learning Center is where people with shared and conversion path come together as a community, inspiring a sense of peace and history. As a repository for their stories, we shape the future evolution and inviting dialogue by sharing our experience with the world. Our mission: the Museum of the American Military Family History and Learning Center brings together people with shared experiences, showing occasions and honoring those uh, who also served American military families. The values of the museum are as follows. The museum welcomes everyone, regardless of age, ancestry, disability, national origin, race, religious belief, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, marital status, and political beliefs, and veteran status. We value unity and our camaraderie and spirit de corps. Brian,
Yes, sir, Ernest.
do you get that, sir?
Yes, sir. I got it all. That's pretty good. Is that a How long has the museum been around? I don't even know the history of it. Do you know when they started it?
Oh, it's been ongoing for quite a few years. They were located in Albuquerque, and then uh, the office that they were maintaining uh, was settling out the building. So we were scrambling to find a new location, and we wound up in Tijeras, New Mexico.
Who was the founders of the museum?
Dr. CERCI Warshner and her dad, Dr. Olson.
Do you know what prompted them to want to open something like this?
I'm sorry.
Do you know what prompted them or compelled them to open such a place like this?
Well, as far as I remember, one time she was looking for a project to do, and she called her dad, Dr. Olson, which is also a PhD, and she said, "Dad, we're going to open up a museum." And her dad said, "Okay." And that's how that came about, as far as my knowledge.
So the stuff that they have showcased in the museum itself, how did it become? How did they accumulate it, or where did it come from?
Well, the idea and the concept behind it is to record history and with, say, for example, veterans, military brats, and uh, and it evolved into other projects, and it just grew and grew and grew.
So how long have they been in Tijeras from when they moved from Albuquerque?
I would say about a year and a half, 2 years. It's right next to Molly's Bar.
And how long were they in Albuquerque before they moved to Tijeras?
Uh, well, it started with its conception in Albuquerque, and then we lost that lease, and we found that building, which, like I said, is next to Molly's Bar, and it used to be Molly's house.
Okay, I get it. I see.
So we leased that building and moved everything in there, and turned out beautiful. And if you go into the museum's website, you'll see some of the photos of the museum and the inside. And I personally myself have some artifacts and stuff that I donated to the museum.
Okay, I see. So right now, the thing that we're planning to do on our channel, the founder of the museum herself, Dr. CERCI Wersner, was planning to probably sit with us on a, well, more than likely sit with us on a podcast to introduce and talk about the museum a little more between the conception and creation and the honoring of the veterans and their families here in New Mexico, and I think pretty much nationwide. So if there's anything else you guys want to know about it, please leave your comments below. And we are on the planning of creating that podcast with Dr. Wersner. So if anything should come up, probably in the next week or so, we'll do a podcast with her. And she's a very busy lady, so we're gonna try to take the time and have her schedule in as much time as possible that she can share more information with us on the museum with her, and then Ernest being part of it, so they can give us a little more insight. Ernest is just doing a quick outline for us, and we're just talking about it real briefly because we want to try to do a little more in depth. To have a website, phone numbers, way of contacting the museum itself. If anyone wants to contact them and their families, part of veterans, on military families that are ongoing, that want to share some of their history and their lives with the museum, that they can add and showcase at the museum. We'll have all that information for you guys at the time of the podcast. So we'll have everything below. But if anything else should come of it before then, you could give us ask us any questions below. And we thank you guys for viewing our cast today. At the same time, if you guys can subscribe, follow, comment, and hit the bell icon below. The other people that you know that are families, that are veteran families, people that are military families still, know about this museum and more about information and what we're doing. Because we are right now on this part of You Think You Popular channel, we are honoring veterans, which we're going to be. We have a wide array of stuff that we're going to honor people and bring people to the podcast and other things that we're going to do on this channel besides podcasting. So, but right now we're focusing on veterans because there's the most honored people that we can give our focus to right now, for what they're doing and for our country and what they have done for our country. So if you guys have anything to ask or anything like that, feel free to let us know below in comments. So Ernest, is there anything else that you would like to say before we sign off today?
No, I just invite anybody and everybody to pull up Google the Museum of the American Military Family History and Learning Center. You won't regret it. You'll learn a lot. and we urge you to even consider joining, subscribing for membership into the museum. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you guys again for watching our podcast. I really appreciate it. And we'll be doing a lot more of these things. Like I said, if anyone wants to reach out, please hit the comments below. Let us know. We'll make sure to answer any questions. And we answer all of your guys' questions, if anything, or answers that you want to ask us or give us any feedback at all whatsoever. We appreciate it. But in the end, like I always say, it's all about you.
You got it.